Welcome to the 5th video in our series on making more money. Okay, so if you haven't watched the first video yet, start there. But I'm going to move forward assuming you've watched the 1st through 4th videos already now. And here we are. In the last video, we told a story about a devil in a house, right? And how when you clear the devil out of the house, it's all clean and nice, but the devil's going to come back with some more devils unless you fill the house with angels. And we talked about the devil being in the house is like all these emotions we have that create knots in us, that keep us from flowing money and flowing other good things. But if we can clear out those emotions, we have a clean house, but those things are just going to come back again if we don't replace it with something else. Because things don't like being empty, right? Like we see this in science. If you have like an empty space, air will go into that space, right? To try to create equilibrium. The spaces don't stay empty. So those emotions are going to come back maybe even worse than they were before, causing more problems for you unless you can fill the space with something new, a new shape, right? Now we did some emotion processing around money where we practiced tapping. We practiced write and burn too. And we talked about how we can create something new for ourselves, right? Talked about how you can create a new experience. If we no longer have these memories of the past keeping us down, recreating something, we can now create something different. But we need to actually create that, right? We need a memory of the future, the stronger the memory of the past. Now, one way to do this is just by having new experiences, right? So if I've been having the same experience on money over and over and over and over again, and then and I keep recreating that, I process those feelings, then if I have a new experience with money, and this will happen for people, right? They'll process their feelings around money, and then they'll have a new experience with money, and that's a blessing to them because then their body is programmed around a new kind of experience, if the experience is like really big. But it can be hard to have enough experiences to make up for it, right? Some research has shown that when marriages, that if you have a marriage that's really bad, like a marriage that's been just a really, really bad marriage, it takes, in order to heal the marriage, it takes 16 good experiences for every bad experience that the people have together in order to heal. So if we've had like a really bad relationship with money and we're processing those feelings, that's good, but we're going to need a lot of new experience with money to heal that. And we might not be having those experiences come up in our lives quick enough to create that new thing for ourselves. And so that it make it hard to get those 7 angels into our house quick enough by just waiting for life to give us new positive experiences with money. So what do we do about that? Well, we untie our ropes, right? We want to have a new clean rope now. And one way to get that new clean rope is talked about in this book, Becoming Supernatural by Dr. Joe Dispenza. And I actually have the book right here. Yeah, it's right here. And I want to go over some research in this book that I think is pretty amazing. He says, priming your mind and body for a new future. And he talks about some Harvard researchers. And man, you should read this book. This book's so good. I'll link it in the description below. He talks about some Harvard researchers who took some people and one half of them, they taught them how to do they took people that never played piano before. And half of them, they taught them how to do a 5-finger piano exercise. And the other half, and they had them practice it every day. The other half, they didn't have them practice every day. They had them think about doing the exercise every day. And in the end, when they studied these people's brains, they found that both of them had experienced dramatic brain changes. So whether they actually did the piano exercise or just thought about doing it, they experienced the same sort of changes in their brain. That's amazing. The Cleveland Clinic did a similar thing with 10 people between the ages of 20 and 35. And they had those people imagine flexing one of their biceps as hard as they could in 5 training sessions a week for 12 weeks. Every other week, the researchers recorded the subject's electrical brain activity during their sessions and measured their muscle growth. By the end of the study, the subjects had increased their bicep strengths by 13.5%, even though they hadn't actually been using their muscles at all. They maintained this gain for 3 months after the training session stopped. So by just thinking about flexing their muscles, they grew their muscles. That's amazing, okay? One more, also at the Cleveland Clinic. This is them working with the University of Texas, San Antonio, and the Kessler Foundation Research Center in West Orange, New Jersey. And they had people visualize contracting their elbow flexor muscles. And they were instructed to urge the muscles to flex as strong and as hard as possible, adding a firm intention to their strong mental energy for 12-minute sessions, 5 days a week for 12 weeks. One group of subjects was instructed to use what is called external or third-person imagery, imagining themselves performing the exercise by observing themselves in a scene in their head separate from the experience, like watching a movie of themselves. A second group was instructed to use internal or first-person imagery, imagining that their bodies, as they existed right then in real time, were doing the exercise, making it more immediate and realistic. A third group did not practice. The group using the external energy showed no significant change, but the group using internal imagery showed a 10.8% increase in strength. So just imagining yourself like in your body having a different experience. For your body, it's like you're actually having that experience. Your body can't tell the difference between imagining it and having it. So we can use just like really vivid imagination to create a different experience for ourselves. It's really, really cool. So here's an exercise I want you to try. Get a journal, and I want you to write in the journal. And I want you to write in the journal as if you're your future self. So imagine yourself in the future. You can do it a week in the future, a month in the future, a year in the future, 5 years in the future, whatever works better for you. Imagine yourself in the future having a different experience with money than you have been having. And then write in your journal, like put the future date and write in your journal as your future self, writing about what it's like to be in the financial place you're in. Like be in the future when you write it. Like imagine yourself being your future self, writing with your future hand. Visualize the things happening that you write about, and write about the things you experience every day in the future with money. Write about how much money helps you. Write about the positive feelings you have about money. Write about the good experiences you're able to have because of the money you have. The things that you're able to buy that enhance your life. The things you're able to do for other people, and the gratitude that you feel. Write about all that stuff. Write about how much money you have. Write about how you use your time when you have all that money. And all the good, wonderful, and fun things you do with gratitude and generosity. Write about all that as your future self. And then after you write it, just close the journal. And then what you can do is every day just read that to yourself. Read it to yourself every single day. And when you read it to yourself, just let yourself see it, like yourself in that body, experiencing like as a memory in your own body, experiencing it. And just do this. So in addition to doing the emotion processing every day, this is an exercise you can do every day also. And the emotion processing will get the devils out of your house, will get the knots out of your rope. And then this process will put angels in your house, will put your rope into that nice controlled shape that's really going to help. So give this a shot. I want to hear about it. If you want to, you can even copy and paste or like type out. I guess you can't copy. If you type out or copy and paste some of the things you wrote in your journal and put it in the comments below, or tell us in the comments about what it was like to write this journal. Let us know about it. Let us hear how it went. And when you write your experiences in the comments with this, it can help encourage other people and give other people confidence that they can have a positive experience with this too. So tell us all about that. All right, I want to thank our supporters, as I do in every video. This is all about, we want to grow in money, so we grow in gratitude and generosity. I am grateful for these people's generosity. Thank you very much to all of you. And if you want to become a supporter of the channel, you can read how in the description below. One of the best things you can do though is just subscribe so you get the next video, and watch the videos and do what they say. Give it a shot. And so I'll see you in the next video. And until then, just keep enjoying your best self, one season at a time.